Hello friends! In this video I want to find out if I can beat Mario Golf with only a 600-yard driver and a putter. Now you might be thinking, wouldn't it be easier to play with such a strong club since I should be able to make many greens in under regulation? Well, not necessarily. Because the club hits so far, it's difficult to control over shorter distances or when playing from hazards. And I have to deal with the non-linearity of the power bar a lot more than usual. What does that mean? Since the initial velocity the ball needs to travel with to reach the target distance on the power bar is calculated based on the game physics, which include air resistance, a greater change in velocity is needed to increase the target distance the further that the club needs to hit. This means that when setting power, there's a bias towards the upper range of the club's distance, which I'll need to factor into my shots. For example, hitting less than half power on the power meter still goes much further than half of the target distance. Let's have a look at the rules for this run. I'll play from a new file and won't use the unlock code that gives me all characters and opens the courses. I'll need to collect all gold trophies. I won't save and quit during a round, and finally I'll be using only the driver and the putter. Let's get started. First up is Toad Tournament. This one should be simple as always, as it's a basic course with an easy score to make for the gold trophy. It will at least be a good chance for me to get used to using this driver. On the first hole, I drive just short of the green and then putt the rest of the way for an easy birdie. The second hole is a short one, so I have to be very careful not to overhit. I again putt onto the green and take a par this time. It's on hole 3 that I run into the first major issue. I go into the bunker just beyond the green, and from here I'm not able to putt my way out, but I also have no clear shot towards the green with the driver. Luckily, I do have some tricks up my sleeve. I try to get out by duffing the ball with a high sliced shot. It doesn't work out this time as I didn't use enough power, but the second attempt clears the green completely. I putt to finish up and go away with a bogey. I drive into the rough around the green on hole 4 for an easy eagle, then barely make the green on hole 5 for a chance at a second eagle, but just miss the putt. Hole 6 is another short one, and I go into the rough beyond the green. I manage to make it out using an approach shot and putt for par. I end up in some awkward positions on hole 7 and have to take another bogey as I struggle to get onto the green. Hole 8 is a long but simple one, so it's an easy eagle here. A good drive on hole 9 puts me very close for another eagle. Onto the back 9 and I hit pin shot trying to putt for birdie from the rough, so I take a par to start. I land in an awkward position on hole 11 and have to duff to get out of it, but I still get away with a birdie. Hole 12 is a par 5 and another easy birdie after missing a putt for eagle. I'm happy with a par on hole 13 as hitting the greens on the short holes is proving to be difficult. 14 is a simple birdie and I get a chip for eagle on 15. I would like to drive the green on hole 16 for a chance at albatross, but I seem to be underestimating the wind on these longer shots. I play out from the bunker and putt for eagle instead. I have trouble getting onto the green on 17, so it's a bogey here. Then I settle for par on hole 18 to finish up the tournament and take the first trophy. On to Cooper Cup, and I miss a putt from off green before taking a birdie on the first hole. On hole 2, I bounce off the green to an awkward bunker, but just about have an angle to approach onto the green and make the eagle. I just about make the green on the third hole and then sink a 56-foot putt to take another eagle. Hole 4 is a short one and I overhit by a long way to end up in deep rough. I go back and forth a few times trying to land on the green before eventually taking a triple bogey. I again overhit on hole 5 and have the same issue of struggling to keep the ball on the green. Thankfully only a par this time. There is a mountain in my way on hole 6, so I try to play a fade shot around it. This time I do make it onto the green safely and get an eagle. On hole 7, I land just off green and I'm able to putt my way to a nice on and birdie. Another par 3 on hole 8, and inevitably I go over into the rough again, but the follow up and putt for par are straightforward this time. I'm ending the front 9 in another awkward bunker, but I recover with a good duff shot and putt for birdie. I'm just short of the green on hole 10, but play a short shot on and make the putt for birdie here as well. Some good shots on holes 11 and 12 leave me with short putts for 2 more eagles. I really don't need to be concerned with the score at this point unless I make some horrible mistakes. Hole 13 is another back and forth as I wildly overhit the tee shot and ends with a double bogey. I come up short on 14 but decide to putt my way to the green and settle for par. I make the green edge on hole 15 for an easy 2-putt to birdie, but 16 is another short one where I fail to get close to the green. I'm happy with a par. I miss a simple eagle putt on 17, but birdie is still more than enough at this point. It's 3 shots to make the green on hole 18, but I take another birdie and easily win the second tournament. Shy Guy International gets off to a good start as I land close from the tee shot and eagle the first hole. Hole 2 is a short par 3 though, and I'm straight into the bunker. Luckily this is an easy one to recover from to take par. On hole 3 I get close to the green and have a chance for an albatross, but miss the putt and take eagle instead. I get simple birdies on holes 4 and 5, but miss the putt on hole 6 to take a par. I finally make the green of a par 3 from the tee of hole 7, but miss the resulting putt anyway, so it's par again. On hole 8, I duff a shot onto the green for an easy birdie, then it's on to hole 9, one of the longest in the game. I just miss landing on the green, then 2-putt for an eagle. No trouble on this course so far, so let's keep it up. Some tricky conditions on hole 10 mean I land in the bunker off the green, but the duff strategy comes in useful again to help me recover for birdie. I attempt to putt from the rough on 11, but it's a little too hard. Another easy birdie though. I have a 91-foot putt to make on hole 12, which I miss of course, but par on these short holes is as much as I'm hoping for at this point. 13 is an easy birdie, and on hole 14 I take an eagle after just overhitting the green from the drive. Another narrowly missed long putt on the final par 3 means I finish with par here. It's another par on 16 as I don't make the green from the second shot this time. On 17 I tried to aim over the rocks and let the wind guide the ball to the green, but I hit much too hard and end up in the bunker. I do make the green on shot 2 to recover and then 2-putt for birdie. I make the green from the tee on hole 18 and casually, or perhaps embarrassingly, 3-putt to victory. That's 3 tournaments down and 3 to go. Yoshi Championship is next. I start with a good tee shot and 2-putt for birdie on hole 1. I go just beyond the green into the rough on hole 2 and it's another 2-putt. Hole 3 is a difficult one and I'm happy to just go into the water before playing onto the green. It's a double bogey here. Hole 4 is a relatively easy approach onto the green and putt for birdie. On hole 5 I land just short of the green for an easy approach and another birdie, but the next one will be much more difficult. My first attempt goes straight over and out of bounds. The second is better but still off green, so I have to 2-putt to another double bogey. I hit a good drive near to the pin on hole 7 with a chance for albatross but narrowly miss the putt. Eagle is still a good result. I just miss a chip for eagle on hole 8 and take birdie. I drive the green on hole 9 to take eagle and my score is looking good at the end of the front 9. Hole 10 is an easy birdie and I get close to the green on hole 11 to make eagle. On hole 12 I go just beyond the green but approach and putt for par. I make the green on 13 and 2-putt for another birdie, then putt from the green edge on 14 for another eagle. The score is looking very good now. I don't stick the green on hole 15, but again recover for par. Hole 16 is a problem though, as I struggle to stay up on the raised green. I eventually make it for +4, not a great result, but I'm still on track. I drive the green on 17 and 2-putt to birdie, and I'm on to the final hole. I have a chance for albatross again, but just miss the hole. Eagle is plenty though, and I once again comfortably win the tournament. Next up, Boo Classic, my personal favourite course. I expect this could be the most difficult one, but let's find out. It's an easy birdie on hole 1 as I just miss out on an eagle, then again on hole 2 as I have a simple approach from just off the green. On hole 3 I managed to make the green in one shot and have a simple putt for albatross. I've got a good score going early on, which is exactly what I want to see. Hole 4 is a par 3, and in keeping with the run so far, it's more difficult for me to get close on these holes. I do manage to sink the long putt though for another birdie. My drive on hole 5 is virtually perfect, and I take an eagle here. Hole 6 goes the same way. I'm on -10 already, and this is way better than expected. I just about stay in bounds from the drive on 7, so it's a simple approach and yet another eagle. Hole 8 is again a par 3 that I just don't have the control for. I go way past the green and I have to get back up there with a long putter before settling for par. Hole 9 is another case of a short approach into a birdie putt. -13 from the front 9 puts me in a great position to win this first try if nothing goes horribly wrong. I drive the green on 10 for a chance at another albatross, but I miss the putt and take eagle. I chip in for eagle on hole 11, but hole 12 is another par 3 where I expect to do no better than par, which is indeed what I get. I land in a difficult position on 13, but a duffed shot helps me get nicely onto the green for a birdie. On 14, my approach to the pin is a bit wild, but I still make the putt for another birdie. On to the last par 3 of the course, and my downhill putt is just too strong to go in, so it's a par on this one. Another good drive on 16, and a 2-putt for birdie. 2 more holes. I just missed the albatross putt on hole 17 to take eagle, then it's an approach and putt for birdie on the final hole. I somehow finish on -23 to easily win this tournament. I'm honestly surprised there were no out of bounds shots or any major issues on any of these holes. Now for the final course. Mario Open starts well as I make the green on hole 1 and sink the putt for eagle. I come up short on hole 2 and then miss the birdie putt, so I take a par instead. I have some difficult conditions on hole 3, so I just miss landing on the green. I make a good approach though and putt for another eagle. Now for a par 3, and incredibly I land very close to the hole for once. It's an easy birdie from here. I struggle with the wind on hole 5, but a good duff onto the green to recover gets me a further birdie. Hole 6 is already tricky with normal clubs, so I take no chances with overhitting and just settle for a triple bogey, perhaps a bit too cautious. I make up for it on hole 7 though as I drive the green and make the putt for albatross. Hole 8 is an easy birdie as I can make the green from the tee and then take 2 putts. On hole 9, I go slightly over the green, but can easily hit an approach shot and putt for birdie. That's -8 from the front 9, and again it's looking very good if I can just keep it going until the end. I'm just short of the green after the second shot on hole 10, but I risk a putt from the edge of the bunker and it pays off as I take birdie. 11 doesn't go so well as I get caught in the tailwind and bounce out of the course from the rocks. I recover with a good second attempt though to finish with par. I'm feeling lucky at this point, so I risk another bunker putt on 12 to save par here too. I go slightly past the green on hole 13, but it's a simple approach and a putt for birdie. Hole 14 might be a bit more difficult with its tricky green. It takes me a few attempts to get up there, so I finish with double bogey. The last 4 holes are some of the hardest, and I'll need to get pars at minimum from here on out. I just about make par on hole 15 after struggling to make the green, then take a bogey on hole 16 as I miss the putt for par. My drive on 17 thankfully goes in the water just short of going out of course, and allows me to approach and putt for birdie here. I need another to make certain of the win. Thankfully, I just barely make the green on hole 18, allowing me to casually 2-putt my way to a birdie and ultimately to victory in the final tournament. This run overall was not as difficult as I initially expected. The short and downhill holes are hard to gauge for sure, and the effect of the wind over long distances is still something I didn't fully factor into my shots. But those 2 things alone didn't really provide enough of a challenge to make up for the easier par 4s and 5s, where it wasn't difficult to make greens in under regulation. In any case, I hope this video was enjoyable. Feel free to leave a like or subscribe to the channel for future content. You can also follow me on Twitch to see things like this and more live. As always, thanks for watching.